In 2019 on the streets of Vienna, Eliud Kipchoge did the unthinkable, becoming the first human to run under 2 hours for the marathon distance. But this huge achievement did come with a small asterisk. By using rotating pacemakers and constant access to drinks, the attempt was invalid for record purposes. Kipchoge did go on to attempt the sub-2 in a real race, going through halfway in the 2022 Berlin Marathon in 59:51, in a moment that had running fans everywhere on the edge of their seats in anticipation. The barrier proved too much that day. He faded in the second half, finishing in a new world record of 2:01:09, a heroic effort, but far enough away for the barrier to still seem unattainable. But later that year, a man did come along who looked for all the world like he would do it. Kelvin Kiptum debuted in Valencia in December 2022, running a stunning 2:01:53. He quickly cut that down to 2:01:25 in London, and then 2 hours and 35 seconds in Chicago in 2023, and announced his intention to break the 2-hour barrier at Rotterdam in 2024. But his tragic passing in a car accident 2 months before his attempt robbed us of the chance to see history being made, and left us wondering when we might once again see an athlete so talented and capable of breaking the 2-hour mark. And as unlikely as it sounded at the time, 3 athletes have stepped up over the last year to make themselves genuine contenders. With all 3 now announced for their next races this autumn at 2 of the fastest courses in the world, Berlin and Chicago, could 2025 be the year that the 2-hour barrier finally falls in an actual race? First on the list of contenders is the man widely considered the best marathoner in the world right now, Kenyan Sebastian Sawe. Sawe has enjoyed an eerily similar early marathon career to Kiptum himself. He debuted in Valencia at the end of last year in an almost identical time, running just 12 seconds slower than Kiptum's first marathon attempt, finishing in 2:02:05. He then went to London this year, where in tough, warm conditions, he blew away one of the strongest fields in marathon history, putting in a strong surge at the 30-kilometre mark and running sub-2-hour pace from there until the finish, crossing the line in 2:02:27. Interestingly though, Sawe's pedigree over shorter distances is really solid, unlike Kiptum, who came to the marathon as a virtual unknown. He won the World Half Marathon Championships in 2023 and has run 58 and change for the distance twice, most notably in Copenhagen last year, where he beat the man considered the greatest half marathoner of all time, and next entry on this list, Jacob Kiplimo. He even has strong showings over 10k on his resume, running 26:49 and 26:54 at the 2022 and 2023 editions of the Adizero Road to Records event in Germany, proving he always had the underlying ability to make the step up to be a world-class marathoner. To underline Sawe's talent further, his coach Claudio Berardelli claimed in the build-up to London that, "I'm not sure I've ever coached a guy like him. He can run really, really fast in the near future. Definitely under 2:01. Now this is significant because of the calibre of athletes that Berardelli has coached. He has coached major marathon winners Evans Chebet, Benson Kipruto, and most notably Sami Wanjiru, who looked set to become the greatest marathoner of all time before his sad early passing. If Berardelli is claiming him as the best he has coached, then he must be really special. And as an Adidas athlete, Sawe is now confirmed as top billing for the Berlin Marathon in September. The Berlin course is fast, seeing 9 men's world records set there, and the organisers will be hoping Sawe can return the record to German roads after Kiptum took it away in 2023. If conditions are good, there is no reason why Sawe can't lower the world record and possibly go under the 2-hour barrier. But Berlin's weather conditions have been a little variable in recent years, and if things are a little hot or humid, we might see the chance slip away, leaving the chance open to one of the 2 men running Chicago a few weeks later. And the most exciting of these 2 men is, of course, Jacob Kiplimo. Kiplimo put himself firmly in contention to be the first man to break 2 hours even before he had stepped on a marathon start line, when he ran a stunning 56:42 half-marathon world record in Barcelona at the start of this year. Excitement ahead of his debut in London was at fever pitch, and although he played it down pre-race, saying he just wanted to run a good first marathon and get a place on the podium, he still ran one of the most impressive debuts in history, coming second to Sawe in 2:03:37, but still finishing ahead of Olympic champion Tamarat Tola and the GOAT himself, Eliud Kipchoge. This proved Kiplimo can take to the marathon distance, and unlike the Kenyans who often go straight to the marathon, his record over the shorter events has already marked him out as arguably the most talented distance runner of all time. Aged just 15, he qualified for the Rio Olympics in the 5,000 metres, running 13:19, as well as running 27:26 for 10,000 metres that year. By the age of 19, he was already winning the World Half Marathon Championships ahead of grades such as Joshua Cheptegei and Kipiwot Kandi, and has showed his strength further by beating the best distance runners in the world at the World Cross Country Championships in 2023 and 2024. While he has struggled to dominate to the same extent on the track, he does still have bronze medals in the 10,000 metres from the Tokyo Olympics and the 2022 World Championships, as well as double gold in the 5 and 10,000 metres at the Commonwealth Games. He even beat Jakob Ingebrigtsen over the Norwegian's best distance of 3,000 metres back in 2020, running 7:26 for the win. With 4 half marathon clockings of 57 minutes or quicker already in his career, it is logical that Kiplimo will go on to be the best marathoner in the world and break the 2-hour mark. But it will be interesting to see whether he can already reach that level in 2025. Prior to stepping up to the marathon for London, his weekly running volume was more in the 120 to 150 kilometres per week range. While he has since increased to 200 to 220 kilometres per week, it might still take some time to fully adapt to the demands of the marathon, and he did admit to some cramping in the last 10 kilometres at London. Kelvin Kiptum was known for his 300 kilometre plus weeks, and while a man of Kiplimo's talents might not need such extreme volume to run a fast marathon, the sub-2-hour mark is not a given in his second ever race. So if Kiplimo is not quite ready come Chicago, the other main contender in the Windy City might just step in. John Korir is another Kenyan who came to the marathon late, but who has good reason for the delay. His brother is Wesley Korir, winner of the Boston Marathon in 2012, and later prominent member of parliament in Kenya. He was always going to ensure his younger brother finished his education before running professionally. And after a slow start, John's results over the last 2 years have been very impressive. He won the Chicago Marathon in October 2024 in 2:02:44, then blew away the field at this year's Boston Marathon with a 4:40-mile split up Heartbreak Hill, roughly equivalent to dropping a 4:20-mile on the flat. Based off his development over the last couple of years, a 2:01 or quicker should be possible. The man himself believes the world record is in his sights, saying in an interview with Kafuzi after Boston that, "What's next for me is trying to break the world record in Chicago in October. Now we are going to sit down and plan our tactics and see what we can do to break the world record." With the world record stood at Kiptum's mark of 2 hours and 35 seconds, an attempt at world record pace is super exciting. With Korir and Kiplimo battling it out over the final miles, that 2-hour barrier could be in serious jeopardy. This year's Chicago Marathon is scheduled for the 12th of October, exactly 6 years to the day from when Eliud Kipchoge ran his mind-blowing 1:59 on the streets of Vienna. His iconic catchphrase of "No human is limited" has inspired a generation since then. What could be more fitting on the anniversary of his attempt than for us to have seen one of these great athletes ellipse his achievements by equaling his mark in a race? Whatever happens in Berlin and Chicago, it's going to be another epic year of marathoning. Please remember to subscribe to my channel to catch more breakdown videos as the events unfold. And if you've enjoyed this one, please drop a like on this video to help me push it out to more people who might be interested. Thanks for watching everyone, and see you in the next one.